Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Roman City Sank Reporter. So of course we had a pretty big project, the Hippodrome, which really was a big project. So I've still got this yellow stick, which I think next I really need to do the aqueduct before I do any buildings, really, hopefully. So I do the aqueduct and some stables. But yeah, Hippodrome itself, this took ages. It's taken quite a few days. Because of the way that kind of like work has been lately, I haven't had time to even render the actual walls, city walls and plan episode, just to give you guys an idea. So I'd had enough time to build, but I haven't had enough time to like render properly, because I don't want to come home and just let my PC sit there for ages. Instead, I want to actually do stuff. So yeah, so there's going to be kind of like quite a quick succession of these videos. So it'll look like I've done loads of work in a short amount of time, but really I haven't. It's just been going on. So yeah, this is the Hippodrome. So Hippodrome, or well, that's kind of like Greek word for it anyway, meaning like horse course. Also, probably a Roman circus would be the right word as well. Something like the Circus Maximus, which is in Rome, would be. It's a very, very big one. This is a very small one in comparison. Usually they're around 800 meters long. This is about 100 and something. I can even tell you guys exact, if that helps. So it's like almost like a 1/8 scale of what would be one. But for this city, it kind of makes sense. It doesn't need to be super duper huge. But I kind of like talk about a couple little bits as well as the little bits of details, and if I continue them on or not, I think I'll just do that in just random time and stuff, and how I've designed it and all that kind of stuff. It is, if we turn on this, 131 blocks long, so not too bad, not really at all. So yeah, the actual design of it itself, it's, you know, kind of like, it's got its semicircular bits, which are a pain. It's also got straight parts. It's very much like any sort of modern, you know, theatre that you have, and I guess the bits that you guys haven't seen, I mean, sort of very, very quickly. This side at all, this side in general, actually, you guys didn't see at all. So I might actually do quite a little bit of a thing. It's just got lots of detail on it, and it's got lots of different layers. You know, it's got the archways here, which are just on like normal blocks, and it's got the cobblestone wall coming forwards, then more archway stuff and detail, and then, you know, anvils and more detail, and it keeps on going up. It's got a lot of detail on that just to make it look really, really in-depth and visually quite nice to look at from the outside, which I think is really good. And that actually I continued, or I was able to continue around these angles, which was really good, and then you get the actual cut-off. It's one of the reasons I actually did the cut-off, is because we get these clear sections of 3 blocks for each of them. So you get 1, 2, 3, for example, here, or actually 1, 2, 3 if you count the full blocks. Which is quite nice, and it was very difficult to do, but I think it really turned out. So that's the kind of like bits you haven't seen on the outside. If we actually go through one of these entrances, so this is the part you haven't seen, the row. Now the actual real ones that I've kind of had a look at, obviously, the arch is much smaller than this. It would actually probably come down to about here or so. But then when I was looking at that, I was like, well, what's the point in having then, you know, having this pillar go up here, having a very, very small arch going over, and then you have another little separate room, and it wastes space. And I didn't really like that. I thought, why not make it quite grand for this bottom floor at least? I think that worked out a lot better. So then we got these little entrances here, which you probably saw in the time-lapse, just as those small gates. And you might be wondering, okay, well, we've got these seats here, so you'd sit on these, be able to see the races. These are bits that you haven't seen. The chariots that I've put in, and also the weird little symbols, those are all done off camera, as well as the new flags, and they're very, very cool. And then obviously you would also go up these stairs. So you go up these stairs to get into these different areas and then sit down. But also you can go up here and go into the next level, and then you get this. And this you guys haven't seen. So that's why it took a very long time, this one. A lot of it was, you know, copy and paste. We've got a lot of these little details, and then you've also got these little gates that go up to here. And that's the second level. The little entrances there, and then obviously here you can then go up to here to then set up here. So with Roman stuff, the bits that you guys probably don't know, the richer you were and the more higher in society you were, the kind of like lower you were, and then you went up to the top. Now women weren't considered very high in Roman society, so they would actually be at the top. I think you've got like freedmen, and then you've got women at the top, so it was bad. It was very sexist kind of culture, unless you had a lot of money, and if you had a lot of money then it was different. So you'd actually sit at the top, because these were considered the worst seats, just because you're not that close to the action, whereas here you can really see it whipping by, or even up here, you know. So obviously I've done it on a lot smaller scale, so it can't see as many people. I don't know how many people it would be able to seat. Actually, I have no idea. How many have we got here? If we count one of these as a people person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've got like 13 rows, and I'll do a rough calculation at some point. No, I won't. I won't actually. I'll just go around counting these corner blocks. So if you've got like 13 in each of those, you got 26. Whatever. After 26, I'm terrible at maths. Anyway, doesn't matter. So lots of people, quite a lot of people, a couple hundred at least. Let's just go with a couple hundred. So yeah, that's how the kind of crowd control works. It's a little bit different because, of course, you've got these multiple levels. But the idea being that the poor people would be at the top. So if there was a riot or there was a fire or something like that, they wouldn't really care that much about the poor people. They'd care about the rich, and especially with this rich house that we've got over here, this weird house thing. So that's why we've got this part, and it's all got lights inside. I put actual torches in, because the games would usually go on probably quite late. It depends on the season and how much money they're spending on the people to keep them happy, but it could be a lot of money. Now, this was a pain. You can see I've got 2 blocks here. Because of the way that I did it with the circles, it didn't quite work out that way, and then this gets really wide. And they go small again, and then we've got this little edge here that goes up. A bit weird. I'm not really happy with these stairways. You can see here they're very, very clearly back. Because of the way that Minecraft worked, I had to do this really weird thing where it overspills, and I'm not that keen on it, but it allows you to walk up. So it's one of those like Minecraft things. And all these holes that we've got here are for ventilation, just so you guys know. So you've got ventilation in these kind of little pieces here, rather than actually being able to view out. It is just purely for airflow within the structure. Right, let's go down to the starting place and go through these buildings, because there's not really too much there, but I want to talk about why. So right here we have basically the start. If you've ever seen a dog race, I'm not a fan of racing or anything like that, but dog races, they always have those like little shed things, and then all the gates like open up and then they run. Yeah, so same kind of thing. Same kind of thing, as far as I can tell. And this is where it's a bit like, well, they held games and they don't really explain it too well. The historians are a bit vague on it, but from what I understand it, and what would make sense, is that you have these as the kind of like gates, so you'd have like each charioteer in here and then they run off. Of course, the tracks for the real ones are much bigger, so the person that's over here would not be disadvantaged as this, because if you're going around this way, and again, that was a guess, this guy's going to have a head start. But yeah, we've got those. So we've got those there. We've got some nice ornament using the eggs. We've got a little shrine here. So this is like a shrine to a god or something. That's the idea. So the god's looking over it, the god of games. I don't know which one that is. Can't remember. But yeah, sorry if I'm drinking loads, guys. I'm super duper thirsty. So we've got like the god of some sort of games, kind of looking over them, or games or fun or whatever it is. We've got that. We've got some like bronze as well. This is kind of like a different move. Wasn't sure if it actually worked or not, but I kind of like it because it makes it look a little bit fancier without it actually looking that much fancier. I think it just adds in a bit of colour, which I think is quite nice. And we've got these 2 towers here. So these towers aren't really functional. Not really. I mean, there is, an inside part of it. I could probably put on this, and we've now got a new plugin so you can right-click these to open them. Kind of cool. So you can just go up into these towers. There you go, up into here. You can go into the back, you can walk around. This is the good thing about the fences and the cobblestone, if you don't know about this trick. Really, really useful for doing like detail stuff. Yeah, because you can walk between these 2. It's really nice. It's the same with, for people that don't know, if we just get 2 different types of fence, like normal fence and never brick, you can actually walk between these. It's the same thing, because you've got kind of a block. So I think your character looks pretty stuck, but it works. So you can use that for building as well, just in case you guys didn't know about that. Nice little trick, just to add in a detail. So we've got that little bit there. You can walk around here. Then probably people wouldn't be around here, but yeah, they could be. And then you go up into this tower where, again, people probably wouldn't be up here. It's more decorative, but I guess they could be if they wanted to watch it from this side. But it actually does give you quite a nice view going down there. It's quite nice. So we've got those 2. There's 2 towers that are identical. So nothing much there. They've just got a weird roof thing here. It's just a bit different. They're just trying to make it a little bit more different and patterned and stuff. So yeah, got that. These are my chariots, my horrible, horrible chariots, and my horrible horses. Yes, these are horses, guys. They're terrible, but from a distance, they don't look so bad. It's great. It's one of those things. Like from here, it does not look bad at all. But from up close, they look absolutely dreadful, really dreadful. But I could have used an actual horse, but then they just start walking around and stuff, and they get really annoying. I could have used NPCs, but then they're a little bit laggy, and yeah, I just went with these horses instead. So if you guys want to copy that design, please feel free. You don't have to credit me because it's horrible. Yeah, there you go, nice horses. But there you go, nice little chariot design using the big wheels that we've got in Conquest, and just using, you know, simple little slabs here. Using rope, which I couldn't get to turn in. Every time it just pinged off and broke other stuff, so I just gave up. And then just, you know, little bits on the back. I've just used some steam as like smoke to show that it's fast. So we've got one design there. Another little different design here with some signs on the back. Different way of doing the stairs. That's all it is, and just some carpet. Just a different colour. Same thing. And then we've got another one here where I've just done, again, a different type of the stairs. All of these have got just fence gate on there, so a different way of doing the stairs. Put some blue on it on the top, and use different trapdoors and a bit of smoke. This has got the black horses on it, and hasn't got any eyes on it. I didn't put any on there. Oops. And I've also tried to do some sand stuff. I wasn't sure if this looked good or not, or if it didn't really make any sense. I think it does, but I'd have to do the entire arena, which is quite big. So, I don't know. If you guys think it's good, then I keep on adding to it, and I'll keep on doing like details here where we've got... I'll try and make some like tracks in the middle, where you can see the bits where they ran really, really quick. Makes sense, you know, but... And it's gathered on the side and stuff. It's just doing it. It just takes ages, so... I don't know. I thought I'd get this episode out rather than spend my life doing that. The middle stuff. So what we've got in the middle... What the Romans did, especially in the Circus Maximus, is they had different... objects to show the kind of people that they've conquered. So for example, we've got an Egyptian obelisk, and that was there just, you know, to show that they've, you know, conquered the Egyptians. It was that kind of thing. So because we're kind of limited in Minecraft, I've got one fire thing on each side. That's just to you know, show visually that there's a you know, the marker for going around, because I'd whiz around these and then cut the corners. Obviously when it's a lot bigger, like 8 times the size of this, it'd make more sense, but yeah. So we've got an abacus on a stick. What type of people are those? I have no idea. I just thought it was just interesting and different, and it will spark ideas for people going, it's Greeks or something. I don't know. I have no idea what they are. Obelisk, of course, is for the Egyptians, so all I've done is just put in different types of the sandstone, and I just shoved an egg on the top, which is the sandstone egg. It looks alright. It's fine. I've got this weird thing here, which is kind of Greek-ish, I guess. I've got this weird red one here, which is like more... the idea of this was like the kind of weird. It's kind of like red Ethiopian rock, really, but yeah, I don't know. It's just different. It was just something different. It was an obelisk, but smaller. We got this to show this. The idea of this one was oh god, what's it called? Not Crete. It's the other one. Rhodes, or Rhode Island. It's Rhode Island, but not the American Rhode Island, which isn't an island. It's a state type of thing. This is just like literally the Greek Rhode Island, where they've got, you know, the whole Colossus thing. Yeah. So I've just got the 3-pronged thing here of Poseidon or somebody. Another like Greek-ish type of thing. So it could be, I don't know, Macedon or something like that. Macedonians. I think it's Macedonians or it's Macedonians. It's pronounced one of the ways. So I've just done that. I've just put a little bit of that sand there. If you guys think it's good, even if I just do a little bit of it, please do say, and I'll add it in. You know, it's not a problem. Let's go to this one. I'll go over that one last. So, what have we got over here? Yeah, the last kind of like stop down here as well, going around, because I don't think I really showed you this. Yeah, so I've just tried to go it around. Last bit of crowd control. If you go all the way up to here, and we go through the diagonal one, and we go around to the end of here, and we go up. Oops, and it's there. We've got this kind of like building here. Actually, let's show it off first. Different type of building. I don't know what this is used for. I have no idea what this is used for. It's kind of like a grand entrance type of thing. But that's also an entrance type of thing. So it could just be another entrance, really. Actually, what I did need to do, I forgot. Oh, I've just remembered. I might do that. I might not. I'll tell you about that in a bit. And you guys can say if it's a good idea or not. Anyway, so this is like a big entrancey piece just at the end. I actually think it looks really cool. So as you saw in the video, I built it completely semicircular first and then cut it out when I knew where things were tying in. And it was mainly to do with these sections of free with the arches. Okay, so that's how I actually did the thing. But this line here did line up with that line there, and then it was actually went back here. So it actually worked out really, really well in terms of the lines that were being drawn. So that was quite good. So I made this kind of like piece here, made it a bit decorative, put in some stuff, put in some more of the bronze. I actually think it looks really good. So we've got like 3 arches within it as well. Like that. And it's pretty much a mirror on the other side. So it's just like a shortened version, obviously. But I think it looks really cool. I really like it. I think it's cool. But what do we actually have inside it? Because I was like, well, there's actually a room here. I don't think the real one actually was used for anything. But then I was thinking, well, modern day, we have like a betting office, don't we? So why not have a Roman betting office? So we've got Hercules' Wrath, Hand of Isis, and First Son of Hades. And we've got some odds. We've also got some like drinks over here, so like beers and ales and stuff. They did, as far as I can tell, have the kind of like when you see it in baseball games and stuff like that, very American games. People that are going around with those weird like boxes and they're selling, you know, like nuts and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure Romans had that. They would have done. They must have done. So this could be like the little storehousey type thing, and they get them out of the chest and things like that, and then bring them out. But because it's like central to both of them in a way, obviously the people that are all the way over here have to walk quite far. So you know they'd just be the people that have got the little carriers. When they just get there, but it could be like the main shop, and it could be the betting office and like central betting office. I mean, you could have betting agents around, and they'll actually run for the games or something, rather than it being underhanded. But yeah, that was the idea. Don't know what you guys think. I just thought it was kind of, like I said, a nice idea to do it. Next thing, you've probably noticed these. How the hell did I get these? These are awesome. Whoa, how did you do this, Dak? Item frames and maps. So it's a map, as you can see. But it's a slightly different map. Why? Because I'm using a plugin on the server. So I've added this just to, currently for the medieval worlds, to see how useful it is and how laggy it is as well. But it's a bucket plugin called Image Map. And you can use Image Map, and then you can actually scroll through. When you get one of those, you can then just right click and it will create the image on item frame. So it's really, really nice. So for example, what I've done is I've put one map in there, and if we go for SPQR number 2, you get the bottom part of it, and then you get kind of like a banner. Really, really nice fancy banner. It's really good for these type of purpose things. So yeah, I really like it. You could of course draw this out. Now that is weird green colours. Yeah, they did say on the plugin that it would make some stuff go weird, because there's only a certain amount of colours that you can use in Minecraft. So yeah, I think it's really awesome. You just throw the image file in the background and just use it. By the way, if you guys want me to do like plugin tutorials, feel free to ask me, and I can do them. They're really easy, really quick ones to do, and how to configure it and all that kind of stuff. Especially stuff like this. It's just an awesome plugin, and it's just so simple. So yeah, so I put a couple of those banners. I think it really adds to it rather than using the Conquest ones. So I've actually switched them out on the other fort as well, from, you know, wherever it is, that one that I was using before, because it just looks too medieval, and I was just a bit, it just looked too medieval. I wasn't too sure about it. Whereas this is very clearly Roman SPQR, obviously, with all the Roman stuff on it. I think it just works. It just works. It's cool. So yeah, anyway, about the fancy house thing. The fancy house thing. This is for like senators, or obviously we're on an island colony. So it could be the governor and his staff and all that kind of people. You know, the local senate. I don't know if they had a local senate, but that kind of thing. You know, people that are of importance. So they had this like fancy house thing. There was one on the Circus Maximus. I've made a really, really small version, of course. Of the Circus Maximus as well. It's not quite the Circus Maximus. I've kind of done a bit of my own stuff on it, because you always do that when you do Minecraft. But I've made a very, very smaller version of it. But still, you kind of get the idea of the grandness of it. Imagine if you were sat over here and you go, whoa, look at those people over there and that fancy house thing that they've built into it. Imagine if this, you know, it's like the kind of boxes that we have today in our stadiums. You know, those fancy. Well, it's not really fancy ones. They don't look fancy on the outside, but they actually are on the inside. You know, those type of private ones, private booths and things. So I've got, and I've got, obviously it changed on the inside. So on the inside I actually changed it. You'll notice there's a bit of brick stairs here. It's because of these bits here they were showing. So I then decided to make it into a feature and just make it as part of the entrances. So each entrance has those, and then it doesn't look so bad. Kind of. I still kept the sandstone pillar type of thing. Just then put it back with marble, and it actually looks really good. I didn't think these two would mix perfectly. I thought they'd mix well because I've used them in in here, you know, as like accents and different colours. But they really mix together right here, with especially with a smooth one. So I've got that in there. I've got obviously quite a lot of white here. 2 entrances. These would probably have guards on them right here. You know, makes sense. If we go up, we've got the little 2 seats in here. You know, pretty good. Obviously, these pillars block the view. That's because they're 1 meter thick. There's not really too much I can do about that. I could use the smaller ones, and I've used them upstairs, but it just wouldn't work as well. It just doesn't look right if you do. So, yes, the view's blocked, but it's fancy. It's in the shade as well. You know, there's quite a lot of things that are good about it. If we go inside, this is the stupidest interior ever, because I didn't want to edit any of the steps or anything like that, so it's really stupid. Especially when you go in here, look. Didn't want to edit this. I didn't want to cut this back and stop flow, like actual what's it called? You know, like what are they called? People that go here. Spectator flow. There you go. Spectator flow. I didn't want to stop that, so I made the house fit around these corridors, and that was a pain. So again, I've done some fancy arty stuff here to make it look fancier, and you can tell that it's like richer. So yeah, that's the door there. Because of that, this is actually the roof. So yeah, there you go. Where you got this roof here, you can see why I've had to do this weird floor. Oh my god, I'm deleting that loads. There you go. So we've got this weird floor here. So we've got some bowls up here. So this would be for the slaves and servants. They would then be able to bring out drinks and things like that. Refreshments. Same over here. We've got some like, stuff here. So we've got a weird globe thing for some reason. And some water. And they'll just be able to bring things out. I've tried to do something fancy with the ceiling as well, using the things that I've got above, just by luck. And it kind of looks okay. I think the stone slabs doesn't look alright. It doesn't look perfect. Same with down here. We've just tried to make that into a feature. And just left it rather than covering it up or anything like that. So there we go. That's what we get. If we go upstairs now, so again, these will probably have guards on them. Up here, we get a little viewing thing. It is separated off from the stalls. Do they call them stalls? I think they call them stalls. And then we have the next part, which inside here is a bit fancier because we've got a little bit more space. So because we've got more space, we've been able to do some stuff with it, including, you know, putting up some fruity stuff and putting down some beds, like lounging beds, so you just lie backwards. So I've got a couple of those, so they could go in the shade and actually cool off a bit. And then again, like a servant station type thing is over here. And it's also got its own, you know, windows. So it's a little bit different. So it's got its own windows to cool it down. As what I'm saying, little balconies. And then, of course, when we go inside, or outside, sorry, when we go outside, oh my god, I forgot about that bit. I'm fixing that. As soon as I finish the video, this will be fixed. Sorry, guys. I completely forgot because I did a really nice roof on this, like this. And I wanted to do that. I was going to do the same on this part, and I forgot. Damn it. Look at that. Look, that is terrible. You guys can whip me in the comments for that. That is absolutely appalling of me. That's fine. You can kick my butt. Please do. God damn it. There's always something, isn't there? No matter when you think you're finished, you're really not. So there we go. There. Now at least give me a head start. There you go. Finish this part. Finish this part. I must do. But not now. So yeah, I'll finish that roof off and make it look much, much better in a bit. So yeah, we got the other 2 seats up here. This is actually kind of... it's stupid. The balcony blocks it completely. If I didn't have these slabs in here, yeah, I think it'd be a bit better. But no matter what, you're going to block it. It just makes it look fancy when you bring it out a couple blocks. Especially when you have a look at this face here with all the stairs and stuff. And the slabs across here, and like the slabs going around it, and then the roof sits on the slabs, and then you can sit stuff on the slabs. It just makes it look fancier. Yeah. A couple seats there anyway, so they can have a look over. I also tried out sand on top of these. It actually kind of works, sand snow. It kind of works, it's weird. I don't know, it capped them off. I just didn't want to have just those blank. They just didn't look right. And it wasn't anything to do with the texture, it just needed something different, so I shoved that on top of it. But there we go, that's what we get for this fancy house thing. It's very weird. It's like more of a facade, it's like a fake one, really. Like, this is the only real room for it. Whereas, you know, the downstairs one is just a deck. You've got hardly any space, just fill it with some stuff. And it does look like that. I'll be honest on that part of it. It does. Anyway, so that's what I got. But what I have done, of course, is I've changed a little bit on the outside. So the outside has not changed, except Where we've got these anvils, which I've been using, I've just gone to iron bars for these parts, just to make it look different on the outside, visually, so you can kind of, it kind of stands out a little bit. Obviously this dome part does. That's the idea. You also notice onto a cliff, so I don't know what I'm going to do there. I've got a couple ideas. Anyway, the other ideas that I was having, which I was kind of like just thought about, and I was thinking, oh god, I was supposed to do that, or going to do that, was that, now, these type of things, these type of arena type things, were not just used for horse racing, for chariot racing, they were used for a variety of things. They could also be used as an arena, so they could be used for gladiator fighting. So, what I was thinking about that is where the hell the gladiator is going to come from. So, you know, do I make like these little doors in here? Now, there is space under here, as you can see, between each of the walls. This is the messy, behind-the-scenes stuff here that we have. So do I like make some little rooms that go down, you know, really, really bad rooms, and actually join those up? That would actually make it more interesting, definitely. And just have that typical... Let's grab some iron bars. I know which iron bars I want. I want the ones that are around the outside. Let's hope that I actually can grab them. Yeah, got them. So, you know, do I do stuff like that where we've actually got underneath these, like those secret iron bar things, so where gladiators come from? If you guys think that's a good idea, I can spend some time off camera doing that. I'm not too worried about that, and I can just show it off in the next video. I'm happy with doing that, and just, you know, having a couple of those like that, and maybe a couple of them. Maybe even do it like 3 wide or something, you know, make them really big. So then you have like things like this where it's open. Oops, there we go. And then this entire floor can go down and actually can drop down, and that's where you'd have the gladiators come out of and stuff like that. Because they probably would multi-use it for stuff like that. And just have a couple of those around where you get different entrances. I don't know. If that's a good idea, do tell me, guys. That would be cool. If not, if you want me to keep it just as a Circus Maximus type of thing, just for chariot racing, also do tell me, and I'll just do the gladiator type stuff for that. But I know that they did use them for all purposes. It just made sense. It just made sense to, you know, use it for maximum effect. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm actually really glad that I made it. It's huge. This space just got filled quite quickly, which is good, because, you know, it speeds up the series a bit. But it was also quite a big project, so I probably won't do a big project for a little while, at least, you know, a couple episodes. I want to get onto some housing, so my idea is to get the aqueduct done. Aqueduct will probably come over the wall. I don't know how I'm going to get into a reservoir of sorts, whether or not... Because we've got the baths over here, I think I'm going to have some sort of reservoir around this area of some kind, and then it could be piped out from there. That's usually what they do. They wouldn't have the, you know, the aqueduct go all the way up, so I think I'll just bring it over to there or something like that, or maybe like fork it off to the baths, you know, so it'd have like it go to up here or something, where it just goes into a reservoir there, or then again, I want the forum here rather than it being over there. I want to move it over to this point to make a really big forum. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Whether I just expand it as I go. This hill, the ideas I've got anyway, is that I'm going to have like a little bit of a street down here, and it just has like really steep stairs that go up, and then you have a couple of houses on top of it. This will be a slightly richer area. Will not be full villas, but it will be just slightly richer, you know, not probably to the level of, let's go over to the lavender farm so you get an idea, like that level of rich, you know, but actually no, probably a little bit smaller, more inner city levels rather than the multi shaped kind of things of this. It'll be slightly different. I've also got the other shades on, I didn't even realise. Yeah, so we'll have it more like this level of house, but on top of that hill possibly. That's the idea. Because the idea being that this, you know, that fancy house where the governor would go, he wouldn't want to go for a crap part of town. He doesn't want to use the main road, which I've started on. So he'd go probably around this way. So I'd have a couple of houses around here, and that would then drop down on another level. So we'd have like a bit of a step over, but there'd be, you know, houses that are kind of like almost overarching it, and it'd look really cool. Even though this should be the biggest building, just size-wise, scale-wise, it's not going to be, because if I did it to scale, it would be huge. Whereas the houses will basically be to scale, because they have to be. Anyway, I'm going to put some stables at the back. We absolutely need some places for the horses, so I think stables around here. Obviously, because we've got the main gates, and I've opened up one of them. I guess you can now go through this gate. It's kind of cool. Go this gate and then see this landscape ahead of you of nothing, because I'm so far away from that. Done none of the river, because literally I went straight from the walls episode to it, because I wanted to build something that wasn't walls and stuff. That's quite funny. But yeah, I think the stables need to be around here, because if anybody was going to go out riding, it would be in this direction, because this is the only place you can really ride to. So we'll have some stables at the gates. It just makes sense. I think at most gates we will probably have some sort of stables just nearby. It just makes sense. So yeah, we'll have some stables there, but it'll also be stables for the chariot racing and the horse racing. That'll then go up a gradual hill to this hill here. So I'll probably drop this down, all of these blocks down, and just make like a little path going around and try and make it very multi-leveled. I want my city to be really multi-leveled to try and just variate it lots. So you can see I've started to kill this cliff a little bit, this hill, just a little bit, and soften it out. So we'll see what happens with that. On top of this hill, and we obviously got this path. On top of this hill, there will be houses, and they will probably go up, you know, like 1, 2, 3. That'll be like the first floor, the second floor, or the ground floor, sorry, and then the first floor. The first floor will open up onto another street. So that's the idea on this part. It'll be quite interesting. So you're gonna have like some shops and stuff, just a little bit of a couple of shops on here. And then the house part over here, and we can have, you know, warehouses as well. Definitely on this hill and around here, because we've got the port there. That's the idea. So I want to kind of get onto this section at some point, probably soon, after we've got the aqueduct in, because I don't know how that's going to screw things up. So yeah, we'll get the aqueduct done. Get onto these like building. I probably want to do this section because it's nice and clear as a section. Maybe start on the port. The port is going to be a multi-episode one. God, it's just going to be so impossible. I need to still paint this floor. So the port is just going to be a long one. I also need to finish this wall, which I've done. Oh yeah, you did see those, sorry. I forgot that those were in that episode. The 45-degree towers, which I'm not happy about. They just don't look right, but I think when we meld in this wall and connect it up, I think it'll be fine. So I might do a bit of that. So I think that's going to be the next section. What else? Next section or next episode or whatever. Yeah, this floor, this road itself, I want to kind of get you guys ideas on it. It doesn't look great from above at all. It just looks a bit messy. But when you actually go down to it, if you imagine houses on each side, I think it works. It's a mix between 4:9, 48:6, which is the muddy version of that. Just 4. Got some 3:6, and is that it? That is actually it. That's the mix of it. It's just a mix between these, mainly on the kind of like the 4:9 type texture. So it's just 4 blocks really. I've tried to keep it quite simple, but I've tried to keep it muddy on this section because this is kind of like the port area. So I think it would grab, you know, a lot of the just water and spray from the sea, would then bring in mud and stuff like that from muddy areas. You've also got, you know, the areas around here with the farmlands that are bringing mud, and it's also not the richest area. So it needs to be kind of like a bit trampled on, even though it's been built up and Romans love their roads, it's still been trampled in, and that's why I've gone for the mix. And I think where it gets into the richer areas, the roads will change and be quite nice. That's the idea. So I think it works. I think it'll work better when I get it multi-leveled, because it's very flat, and this part here is hideously horrible. Really, really horrible. This is just... I need to... As soon as I've sorted this section, it'll get better, you know, instantly. But yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. What do you guys think? Do you want me to continue with this, or do you want me to go over there? Because I think it's really going to be this section or over there. And yeah, I just, if you guys could comment that'd be awesome. I think the only thing I'd probably work on before getting you guys' feedback is the aqueduct part of it, because that could be part of any episode as just like a tag-on type of thing. So please do tell me what you guys think and what you think of the Hippodrome. There will not be a tutorial on this. It's too big. Sorry guys, it's just too big. It took so long to build. So there will not be a tutorial. I can show you the bits more in depth, how I planned it out, that kind of stuff. I can do that. But for a block by block tutorial, you've just got to be kidding me. It's just a pain in the ass, and there's no way I'd even be able to remember how I properly did it. Just no. Just no. It's just too... It'd be too long. So yeah, anyway. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode on the Hippodrome, which is different. We got our first city building, and it's a big one, so yeah, I'm pretty happy. Hopefully you guys have had a good time and you're enjoying these videos, and as always, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.